Brilliant. Oh, welcome everyone. So, yeah, they're all joining us.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
If everyone could mute themselves, please, because otherwise it just all goes a bit haywire. I will mute everybody and then Okay, let's mute everyone, then I will unmute. Anna, can you unmute yourself? Oops, hold on. What's happening here? Okay, so
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to try and unmute people. Oops, sorry, that's gone again. Sorry.
Unmute.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Right. Anna, are you okay to? You're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay then. Yep,
yeah, I can hear Anna.
Just wanted to say welcome to everybody to, what is this, our fourth?
Yeah, our fourth.
My God.
All things autism, life in lockdown.
I can't believe how many we've done, and it's just, they've all been amazing. We've had such a fantastic response to every single one of the talks that we've done, and this one with Richard is particularly popular. I can see people just still flooding in, so it's really good to see so many people there. I mean, you've got a lot of fans out there, Richard, so this is quite exciting. So
I've paid them all.
Don't pay me. Just want to say, if everyone could leave their questions till the end, I think, so Anna can do a nice interview with Richard, and at the end, then you can ask questions. So over to you, Anna.
Well, welcome, Richard. Thank you so much for joining us. I think the last time I saw you was at the Autism Hero Awards. And you've always been a really good friend to the charity, and I want to thank you for that. I think I've known you for about 5 or 6 years, but the first time I saw you was as Simon Lousley on Waterloo Road. I love Waterloo Road. I used to watch it all the time. So I'm so sad that that's not on anymore. So you are married to the lovely Tammie. You are father to Jaco, and you've got a new baby called Acen. Yay! So how do you feel? Are you tired? Was Richard not there?
There you go. There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Great.
Did you see?
Am I
did you hear what I said?
Yeah. Am I tired? Yeah. I am knackered. He's really strong-willed, and he really knows what he wants, and he is running us ragged, to be honest. He's up all night, and I'm kind of doing the night shifts, and Tammie's doing the day shifts. That's how we're working it. But he's great fun, and we're delighted. We're delighted he's here.
Congratulations. How is Tammie? Is she okay now?
Yeah, she's great now. Yeah, because you know, Tammie, obviously she had a very rare cancer in the womb. It was a pregnancy that turned into a molar pregnancy, and then that turned cancerous, and then she went through this, I mean, it was a crazy time. We went from kind of like having a scan, and then sort of then finding out that we didn't have a baby, which was kind of bad in itself. But then immediately after, like, you know, we were told that Tammie's life was under threat, and it was a real roller coaster that time. And then Tammie went through the most kind of horrendous chemotherapy. We were back and forth London and Velindre here in South Wales, and but then within 8-9 months she'd beaten it.
Wow.
And then a year later she was pregnant. So you know, it's the kind of like Acen's arrival is like a really beautiful end to a very turbulent time in our lives, and we're delighted.
So if you share with everyone what Acen means, because I think that's lovely.
Yeah, Acen means unity in Latin. And I was saying to Anna before we came live to you all that I've got a friend called Acen, and it's the only Acen that I know, and he's quite a unique guy. So I wanted an unusual name, so we chose Acen, and he's actually delighted. After he got over the fact that there'd be another Acen in the world, he was delighted.
So how's Jaco taking it all?
He's taken it really, really well. I mean, obviously we had like 9 months to prepare him.
Yeah.
Because he's already got a younger sister called Mary with his mum.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that bothers him about children is the spontaneous noise that they make. You know, Jaco is hypersensitive to sound, so any loud noises really bother him. So really the 9 months was about explaining to him why babies make noise, because to him they were just making noise, and you know, sort of explaining that there's always a reason for it, and it could be this, and it could be that, and it could be this. So we prepared him really well, and even though Acen is, we call him Moaning Myrtle at the moment because he does a lot of whinging, Jaco's taken it really, really well, and he knows then if it gets too loud, he can just remove himself from the situation.
Right.
And you would think that that would be an automatic response for somebody with hypersensitivity, but actually, I think when loud noise kind of infiltrates Jaco, it almost kind of freezes him and he doesn't know what to do. So it's like using that 9 months to kind of give him a plan for when those things will happen, and giving him control over that situation has been really, really helpful for us. And he's a wonderful big brother, and he takes his role very seriously. He's such a beautiful soul, Jaco, that you know, Acen's lucky to have him, quite frankly.
So let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about your acting career. Let's start with Waterloo Road. What made you go into acting as well? Well,
when I was, because I'm dyslexic, and I was really, really bad at school, and I had really bad coordination. So my sister wanted to go along to disco dancing lessons. We're talking the 70s here, right?
Yeah, I know.
So disco was all the rage. So I went along with her, and I took to it like a duck to water. And considering I was really uncoordinated, my mum was really surprised. So she really encouraged it. And then I started sort of doing ballet and things like that. So I was British champion for disco dancing. I was the under 12s and under 16s British champion at one point. But then dancing kind of led to, you know, the other kind of art forms. And then when I was 12, I went to school in London, to the Erdang Academy, which is a performing arts school. It's now in Islington, but it was in Covent Garden at the time. So I left home quite early and sort of flew through school and then upper school as a student. And then in my final year at the Erdang, I auditioned for Starlight Express. And I got in, and then I worked my way up from sort of principal to from chorus to principal in the 4 years that I was there. I was there quite a long time.
Brilliant.
And then when I left Starlight, I was like, I want to do something else. So I'd quite like to try acting. I didn't have an agent, but I'd met some casting directors through Starlight, got a job on the bill, and it just kind of kicked on from there. And then eventually I got an agent, and I always knew I wanted to act, but I didn't know if I could because I hadn't trained. But like really, I had training in a sense with performing arts, and you don't really
Harry's up here.
Hello?
Hi, are we still there?
Yeah. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you, but I can't see you. Tammie, is everything okay?
Yeah, no, everything's fine. I think what's happening is that because not everybody is muted, that if they speak, then they...
okay.
All right, okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, where was I? What was I talking about then?
You talking about Starlight Express?
Yeah, and then that kind of sort of led into acting, and I always wanted to act, but I hadn't trained, and I thought that would hold me back, but it never has really. I do think that it would have been nice to train in the classics, Shakespeare and things like that, but even that, you know, it hasn't really held me back, and I absolutely love acting more than anything I've done in my career. And it's such a challenging time to be an actor that it's really testing my mettle and really testing my love. But I just love it. I couldn't do anything else.
So what are you doing now at the moment? So how is the performing arts world? Obviously, I know that, you know, there's a lot of things that had to be cancelled or they've had to be postponed till next year. So what are you doing, thinking out the box so that you can still do something that you love? Yeah,
I mean, the industry has been decimated. It's really bad. but I wrote a play during lockdown called Sorter, and it kind of just flew out of me. So that really took my time. And then obviously being a new dad. And then luckily I've got a project that I start filming on a film in November. So I've had that to look forward to. And obviously it was touch and go whether things can go ahead, but that is going ahead. And I'm really, really pleased that I've become a part of that. But in terms of opportunities, they're starting to trickle in now. Like I'm taping for a TV series tomorrow that I send off. So I'm just hoping that, you know, it starts to recover, like I can sort of see in evidence of it starting to recover. I just hope that continues.
Okay, talk to me about Life with Autism and Take on the World, the documentaries that you put together with Jaco. How was that for you? And how was the first documentary? And how was the second? Was it better, or, you know, had you learned things from doing the first one?
Yeah, I mean, I got approached by a friend called Claire Hill, and we did a little taster for BBC Wales with me and Jaco, and they picked it up. So we did the first film because I genuinely wanted to explore the future for my son. You know, it's something that we've spoken about, and it's, you know, it's something that I'm passionate about. And because things aren't clearly signposted, or they could be better signposted, I was kind of aware that there was all this stuff out there, but I just wasn't connected to it. So that's really what the first film was about. And it was kind of like a journey of discovery. And it was a really positive experience for Jaco, mainly. He's watched that film hundreds of times since, and actually he's learned more about himself and his condition through watching that film.
Okay.
And then the second film was Richard and Jaco Take on the World, and that was more going to see what it was like in America, and coming to see, going around the UK and seeing what things are like here. And there was so much stuff that we shot that didn't make it into the film. Like we went to Liverpool, we went to Bournemouth, and the UK is doing like really good. Like a lot of people after the film, they said in the States, the US, they seem to be kind of a lot further down the road. And yeah, they are a little bit in certain states, but actually in a lot of states, they're way behind us. So it's kind of like a mixed bag over there. So that was really interesting. And Jaco has watched that film as well, like hundreds of times. And then we were like, do we make another one? But then I think Jaco's at the age now where I need to give him more kind of creative ownership and more ownership in general. And, you know, even though I'd spoken to him about the first two films and asked him if it was something that he wanted to do, and he said yes, like now I think it's better to wait till he's a little bit older and to give him more of a front seat as well, in terms of where we go and what we do and what the films are about. So yeah, we've kind of left that for a while, and it's a very intrusive process. And the filming goes on for a really long time. So it's nice to have a break as well.
How did you feel about it coming out? Were you nervous?
Really nervous, like so nervous, because autism, as you know, it's a polarizing subject, and people have very strong opinions about it. And, you know, I know that my experience and Jaco's experience of autism is going to be different to everyone else's. And I didn't know whether it would resonate with people, because autism, everybody's so different. So I was really worried when it came out, and I was so pleased with the response and actually really touched by it. And the second film seemed to do even better. So I was really pleased.
Yeah, I love them. Do you mind if we talk about your diagnosis and how it came about and what the process was like for you, and how did you feel afterwards?
Yeah. So Jaco, I think it was about 18 months when Jaco, yeah, to talk about Jaco's
diagnosis. Talk about Jaco, and then about yourself as well, about how you feel.
Yeah.
On the documentary.
Okay, so yeah, he was about 18 months, and I was filming Where the Heart Is up in Yorkshire, and so I wasn't seeing him for chunks of time, and I kind of noticed that he was doing things that let me just turn some lights on. Hold on a sec. It's starting to get a bit dark. Is that better?
Yeah, that's fine.
So he so when I was coming back from filming, I was noticing things that he was doing, like he was putting his fingers in his ears when I took a photo. I really didn't understand it, so I thought he had an issue with his ears, to be honest. Actually, I'm going to turn those lights off. That's even worse. So I took him to an ear specialist, and the ear specialist was like, well, he might need grommets. He might have something called glue ear. Yeah, I noticed that she was looking at him, and yeah, it's quite a common thing, isn't it? But I noticed she was looking at him, and her kind of head was going to the side, and Jaco was sort of flapping away and doing what I thought was normal Jaco behaviour. And actually it is, but I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. And she said, I might need to refer him. And I don't know, like maybe right deep down in my soul that I had a feeling that Jaco might be different. But when she said that, I kind of thought, oh no, what's going on? And she gave me a load of leaflets, and on the leaflets it said autism, and I was like, what? I didn't understand any of it. And then we were kind of thrown into the diagnosis process. And I remember it being like, it's a really difficult thing to explain. But I just felt this feeling of loss of we're preconditioned for parenthood, aren't we? Like we have a natural preconception of how it's supposed to be. And when you're thrown into a new kind of world that you don't understand, you're really holding on to something that you're losing, which is this preconception. And that's what I found difficult. I found it difficult to let go of how it's supposed to be. And I went to a period then where I was like, I really struggled with that. But then once I started to see that the only way I was going to navigate this new kind of, I often say it's like navigating a thick wood without a map or a compass. And the only way that I was going to do it is if Jaco led the way. And that was the best thing that I could ever have done, because he's been leading the way ever since. And then it turned into something, turned into what it actually is. And that's truly wonderful and magic, and yes, challenging and difficult and all those things. But ultimately, he's an incredibly unique soul, as are all people who are autistic. So once I kind of let go of that preconception, it was all good.
Okay. And what about yourself?
Myself? So I went and had an assessment. Yeah.
Was that on the documentary?
No, it wasn't. But we were going to put it in, but then,
okay.
but then we didn't.
Okay. I think you might have frozen. Are you there, Tammie?
Yeah, he's frozen. Oh, he's back.
Have I frozen?
Yeah. Oh, he's back. You're back.
Am I back? Back? Okay. Yeah. So can you hear me now? Yeah.
I can. Yeah. Thank you.
So we were going to put it in, but nobody would film the diagnosis process, the assessment process on camera. So we really struggled with that. So I did it after the second film. And I am what they call BAPI, which is broader autism phenotype.
Okay.
And it basically means that I have a lot of autistic characteristics and tendencies, but not prominent enough to warrant a diagnosis.
Okay.
And I'd never heard of people who are BAPI, so BAP, broader autism phenotype. So I read up on it, and yeah, it's a thing. So a lot of family members of autistic people are BAPI, and that's me. So it kind of explained why I get sensory burnout, and why I struggle in certain social scenarios, like why afterwards I need to lay down for a couple of days sometimes. And why certain light bothers me. And now when I go into a work setting, I say, look, I'm broader autism phenotype, which basically means that I have autistic tendencies. So if I need to take myself away, then that's the reason why. And actually it's been a massive help for me.
Okay, so let's talk about lockdown. How has that impacted on you and Jaco? How has he been able to cope? Was he able to go to school? What happened?
So no, he wasn't able to go to school. But Jaco's handled it really, really well, to be honest. I know that a lot of families have really struggled. I mean, I watched that Panorama thing on
a couple
of days ago, yeah, and it really hit home. I mean, obviously, I can empathise with families, but it really did hit home. You know how rough people have had it, and how autistic people have really struggled. I mean, a lot of autistic people actually have thrived during lockdown.
They have.
But obviously, a lot of them haven't. And Jaco seemed to thrive. The first thing he noticed was that McDonald's was shut, because McDonald's is 24/7.
Yeah.
So he was like, McDonald's is shut. We're definitely in lockdown. But we live right in the city centre, so we were able to walk around Cardiff, and it was like a ghost town. It was magical. He was actually able to walk around the city with his headphones off for the first time in his life.
Oh, okay. Did he miss the market?
He missed the market, yeah, big time. And we passed it pretty much every time we walked into town. So he handled it really well. Obviously, there was a lot of explaining, a lot of reassurance daily, hourly, about things that are going on. And he would repeat a lot of the kind of conditions of lockdown. And it was a way of him kind of sort of, you know, regulating to the situation and almost kind of like keeping himself calm, because there were times where, you know, the lack of routine really bothered him, and there was a lot of boredom, and we found it quite difficult in that respect. But on the whole, Anna, he handled it really well.
Oh, brilliant. Talk to me a little bit about, obviously you've been to quite a few of our events. You've been to Autism's Got Talent. You've been to the Hero Awards. Talk to me a little bit about Autism's Got Talent, because I'm getting withdrawal symptoms because we haven't done it for a year.
Oh my God, it's the best thing ever. Like, it's my favorite thing that you do, and you do a lot of wonderful things, but Autism's Got Talent is just brilliant. Like, every time I come away from it, I'm buzzing, and I'm sort of like a massive fan of, still to this day, of a lot of the acts that have been on there. FMA and 12 Gauge, like, oh my God, I absolutely love those guys. And there's a lot of singers that I love. And I just love the variety of it. But what I really love about it is this kind of non-competitive celebration of autistic talent. And I can't wait for it to come back.
Yeah, we're celebrating 10 years next year. So you'll have to come. We're doing it.
Can't wait to get there. Oh, yeah, like.
And then we've had
that's so good that it wasn't 10 years this year. Can you imagine?
I know. We've had loads of performers that keep messaging me saying, Anna, is it still happening? I'm saying, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Oh, can I do this? Or,
oh man, I just love
I'm practicing. Yeah, so yeah, keeping our fingers crossed, because we were supposed to be going to St Ives next week, and we can't go for our road show. But hey ho.
Oh yeah, because you do heats over there around the UK, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We were supposed to go to Cheshire as well, so that's now been postponed to 2022 because you can't get the theatre next year. So yeah, keeping our fingers crossed, but we're thinking out of the box. We're doing lots of other things, and you know, I've got the art and photography competition that we're doing at the minute, so we're hoping to see some fantastic creativity about their experience of lockdown. So it can either be artwork, 2D, 3D, or it can be photography. So anyone listening out there, closing date is October the 2nd, and yeah, we're looking forward to seeing all your creations. So aren't you here for a charity or a few charities? Tell me a little bit about that.
So yeah, I'm kind of really sort of ambassador of AP Cymru and Snap Cymru, and my friend Tom as well. I think you're an ambassador of Tom's as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. So I keep my sort of hands in, but to be honest, I'm so busy with my own kind of autism initiatives. Before lockdown, I got together, I kind of assembled a task force of young autistic people to make positive changes in Cardiff. And that was with UNICEF and with Cardiff Council. And that was going great guns. We all met at Cardiff City Stadium, and we were all kind of ready to go. And then it was all taken away from us. So as soon as lockdown is fully eased, I'm going to sort of pick that up again.
Oh, brilliant. a diagnosis like? I always ask this because I'm quite passionate about people not waiting such a long time to get a diagnosis. How is it diagnosis wise in where you're living?
I'm just going to move. Can you see me a bit? Hold on a sec.
I can see you fine.
Oh yeah, you can see me fine.
Yeah, where you were before, you were absolutely fine. Can see you great. Okay,
great. Waiting for a diagnosis. Well, with Jaco, it happened quite quick. But with me, I think I was waiting about 8 or 9 months. And actually, that's quite a short amount of time.
Yeah, that's not a long time,
really. Yeah, in comparison to a lot of people. God, the wait was kind of like, I just wanted to get it done. And I can imagine like a lot of people really struggling with how long it takes.
Yeah.
You know, and I've heard of a lot of people that have been diagnosed during lockdown via Zoom and video chats. And, you know, like, whilst I think, yeah, that's a good thing, you know, and of course it has to happen. Autistic people generally feel like left to it after the diagnosis, don't they?
Yeah,
so
like,
if you're like,
bye.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
Yeah. See ya. Here's some leaflets.
Yeah.
Off you go. So like, if you're diagnosed during lockdown, I can imagine that being quite hard. This girl, Kate, reached out to me the other day and she was like,
I think you've frozen again, Richard.
Yeah, he's frozen again. Oops, lost him completely. I think we'll just have to wait for Richard to...
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back
now. Yeah, so this girl called Kate, she reached out to me. She said I was diagnosed during lockdown and kind of left to it. And I don't know what to do. And I just, can you still hear me? Yeah,
I can. Yeah.
Okay. And I just connected her with the wonderful autistic community that's on Twitter. You know, and you know, like I am a massive fan of the autistic community on Twitter. They are a very kind of empathetic, welcoming, loving, inclusive lot. And I have learnt so much from reading their experiences and navigating the world and, you know, all the different opinions. It's just been a great resource for me as a parent and as a man, you know.
So what changes would you like to see? So if someone says to you, here you go, here's a magic wand, what changes would you like to see within the autism community and the services that are on offer?
I just want cities' public spaces to be a bit more understanding and make really simple, positive changes.
I think we've lost connection again.
Yeah, we have. He's still there, but just have to wait a second.
If everyone can start getting their questions ready for Richard, hopefully, when he comes back.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Richard.
Come on, Richard.
You can do it.
It's something that I've always wanted.
We go again.
That's like you know, giving you just a tiny snippet of something. What did he want? What did he want?
Hello.
We missed that. So what was it? We missed the whole of the last bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
About what I would like, sort of positive changes.
That's right. Yeah. You're talking about the towns.
Yeah, so I would love cities public spaces in general to be more accessible. I've always wanted that, and it's such a laborious process trying to get things done. Like, as you know, Anna, like I've taken a lot of inspiration from the way that you do things, and that is just through sheer determination and positive energy, because sometimes you do feel like you're banging your head against a brick wall. So I just want our public spaces to be a bit more kind of welcoming and understanding about our neurodiverse needs in general, and just to make small changes that don't cost hardly anything, and just be more inclusive. That's what I want.
They can do that. There's so many changes that you can make that just don't cost a lot at all. You just got to think out the box. So I'm sure we've got some questions from our viewers. So
I know there's quite a few people that have been getting into Waterloo Road, which is kind of weird for me because obviously I was in it for quite a while. I was in it quite a while ago. It went for years and years and years, and I was in it for like the last 2 but 1 series.
You deputy head, weren't you?
Deputy head Simon Losey, yeah. But they put the whole lot on iPlayer, and because then lockdown happened, there's this whole kind of new resurgence of fans of the show, which is really amazing because they've all been reaching out to me on Twitter, and they're hilarious. They're all hilarious. They do these great sort of memes. Yeah. So if they are out there on this Zoom, hello to you all, and thank you for being such great fans.
Okay. So Tally, do we have any questions for Richard?
That Carly sent me an email. So Carly, would you like to ask your question? Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Carly.
Hi, it's such an interesting chat. Thank you. It's amazing. My little boy, he'll be 7 next week. He's non-verbal. He's low function autism. So I don't know if you'll be able to help with this. But I know Jaco loves being outside, and my little boy Isaac, he does as well. The thing we struggle with is, and I'm not sure if it's anxiety related, because he does love being outside, but since lockdown he did really struggle. It was really bad. When we're going on walks now, he started kicking me a little bit when we're walking, but he's such a cheeky little character, and when he does it, he's laughing, but obviously he's getting bigger now, so when he is, it can hurt a little bit, but I don't think it's anxiety based because it seems to be like a game that he's playing. So if I sometimes never know whether to just ignore him, but then is it reinforcing the behaviour? But if I say stop it, no, then he laughs. So I didn't know if you'd had any, experience of anything similar to that.
Well, what I was thinking when you were talking was, is it related to anything? So is there a part of it that maybe you're missing? Because all I can remember is that when Jaco was really little, getting him to lay on the grass, he would have a meltdown.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand it, and I thought he was scared of the flowers. But actually, then as he got older, I realised it was flying insects.
Okay.
So all I can say, and I'm sure that Anna will be able to help you on this better, but all I will say is that maybe look at, is there something that you're missing in that kind of chain of behavior that's obviously repetitive? Is there something that you're missing that can help you with it? But it sounds like, I do understand where you're coming from. It's like if it does seem to be sort of excitable, funny behavior for him, and then obviously if he's hurting you a little bit and getting bigger, then that would be a concern. But I'm sure Anna will be able to help you with that a bit better.
Yeah, there's different things really you need to look for. So it could be that he's excited by your reaction because he likes what you're doing.
Yes.
The other thing is you need to look for triggers as well. For every time that you walk with him, there might be something just before he does it that's triggering him. The other thing is to work with the school. So maybe you could write a social story, so that he reads it with you and then he reads it with the school as well. So obviously I don't know your son, so it's a bit difficult for me to...
His level of understanding isn't quite there for the social stories yet.
Okay, but you can monitor as well the times that he actually does it. So is it so for example, is it that when you go out in the morning with him he does it more, or in the afternoon? You've got to look at what's around him as well. But I think you need to be quite firm and consistent and say no, or just the wording that you feel that he will understand. And as Tracy's saying, try to distract him as well. So that's another way of doing it. It's a bit of a trial and error thing, so we have to see what works with him.
Okay, thank you.
I also suggested to Carly that we do other talks, and we've got Paul Isaacs will be doing a talk later on this month, and he's a font of knowledge, so should be able to give you some advice as well. So please do watch out for the next dates of Paul's talks, because they're very helpful.
Yeah, if you check on our charity website, we have an events page. So we've got Paul and we've got Joe Luck. They're both autistic, but fantastic ambassadors and really knowledgeable and so full of ideas. So they are useful talks for you to listen, and they're all free. So you know, there's no charge.
Thank you.
I've got Tracy Adams is giving some
Good luck,
advice.
Carly.
Thank you.
So Tracy Adams saying try and distract, and then Judith is saying focus on positive behaviour and compliment him on that. So lots of different advice there. Thank you so much, Carly. I hope
Thank
you found that
you.
helpful. Thank you
Yeah,
so
I
much.
did. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So does anyone else have any questions? Because I don't have any in the chat. Do you want to there we go. Let me try and unmute you. Can you unmute yourself? There you go. Hi.
Hello. I was going to ask Richard, I was going to say, since a young age, I wasn't diagnosed with autism until I was 15, but I've always been quite, not academically bright at maths, but really good at like remembering weird things like birth dates, when people were born, when people have died, and blah de blah. Has Jaco been unusually clever at unusual things like that?
You're Charis, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? It's so nice to meet you virtually, because we talk a lot on Twitter, don't we? It's nice to actually to put a face to the tweets. So hello. Jaco is really, really great at remembering and reciting intricate music. So, like, for an example, Ghost Town by the Specials has got this kind of trumpet solo in the middle that is really long, and it goes all over the place. It's kind of this free-flowing jazz solo, and he can recite that perfect, note perfect, rhythm perfect, and he's really good with music and remembering lyrics, remembering stories. Like I could read him a story just a couple of times and he could almost recite it, the whole thing back to me word perfect. And remembering things from his childhood, he has got kind of almost like a photographic memory of his own life. But no, not things like you know, remembering things like birthdays and stuff like that. Like he honestly, like Jaco has to be reminded the date of his own birthday. So he definitely doesn't seem to be interested in things like that. But when it comes to music and stories, anything creative like that, he's really into it, and he seems to have a photographic memory on that.
I mean, does he remember his first memory? Because I can remember going to Butlins when I was like 3, like literally.
Really?
Yeah, I can remember. It was about 2005, so probably the year Jaco was born even. That
is the year he was born, yeah.
And I remember being at Butlins, seeing Bob the Builder and eating Jaco
yeah,
cake.
That's why I love talking to you, because you're a massive fan of the things that Jaco's a massive fan of. And Jaco does have this really amazing memory of his own childhood. And he reminds me of things that I would never remember in a million years.
My parents too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You need to stop buying so much stuff online. Like you're buying way too much Garfield stuff, way too much Sooty stuff. You need to pipe down on the spending. I'm watching you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's brilliant. I don't have any other questions. Anna, is there anything that you'd like to add?
I just want to ask, where can you see Jaco's future? Where can you see him? Has he sort of said to you, this is what I would like to do? Or where can you see him in the future?
Well, Jaco would like to either work in Cardiff Market, or he'd like to be the guy who runs the waltzers. So who presses the little, scream if you want to go faster, and all those kind of sound things, and controls the smoke and the lights. And the ride starting and slowing down. That's like his dream job. But he's so into making videos and filming his life. It's the way he makes sense of the world. He films everything he films. He watches back over and over, and he learns through immersion that way. So I would like him to do I would just like him to embrace what he loves, and that's filming things, and whether that's him, you know, sort of getting into YouTube, or maybe you know, doing an apprenticeship at the BBC or whatever it is. You know, I'm sure he'd like to get into some kind of creative television aspect like that.
Oh.
But really, it's up to him.
Yeah. So is he back at school now then?
He is. He went back on Monday, and he was pleased to go back. Actually, I know a lot of children have really struggled going back, but I think he really missed his friends, and he missed the routine of school.
Yeah.
And you know, they have a lot of fun in school. You know, it's like what we tend to forget as parents. They have a lot of fun there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, generally speaking, of course.
Yeah.
So he was really pleased to go back.
So how did they prepare him? Because obviously there'll have been some changes within the school going back. So how did they prepare him?
Well, we've got this great app called Seesaw. I don't know if you know of it. It's this educational sort of tool where the teachers can keep in contact with us as parents and the pupils. So they were sending a lot of kind of visual stories and a lot of information and a lot of sort of funny, relaxed videos about it all. And it was this kind of slow, gradual process as we got closer to it. So I think he and his peers were well prepared.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you so much.
I've got a question from
have you?
Madge would like to have a quick word. Madge, can you unmute yourself?
Hey, Madge.
There you go.
Hi, Richard.
Hey, Madge.
I just wanted to ask, has Jaco thought of learning a musical instrument? Because I'm autistic and I teach the piano. And
do you?
I think, yeah.
You know what? That is something that I've been thinking about. So, like, every year I buy a musical instrument, like whether it be a mouth organ or a little percussion set or something like that. And he really likes karaoke, so he likes to sing. But he's never everything that I bought him, he's kind of not really picked up on. But I'm not giving up, because one thing I haven't tried is piano. And there's so many other instruments that I could try, and because he's so into sort of reciting trumpet solos, I might sort of get him to what I'd like to do is encourage the school to you know, encourage him with different musical instruments, because if Jaco can't pick it up and do it straight away, he tends to lose interest straight away. But it's something that I would love as a parent, and that's great that you teach. How is it for you?
Yeah, it's well, I love teaching autistic children, I have to say, and adults. I have some of each. Yeah,
that's
brilliant. That's superb.
But obviously, it's got to be up to Jaco. It's not something that you can force.
Exactly, yeah. But I do try, like, every year, and but he is sort of musical orientated, so I'm not giving up hope.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks.
Thanks, Madge. I have a question from Judith. Judith, do you want to unmute yourself? Have a go. Judith, are you able to unmute yourself? Yep, go for it. Hi.
Hi, Judith.
Hi. Since I'm from the Netherlands, I would like to know how the educational system is for autistic children in Great Britain. Do they attend special schools, or
right?
Can you tell me more?
Yeah, sure. Well, actually, you're in luck, because Anna Kennedy, who's interviewing me, is like the best person to speak to about this, because she is like a superhero here in the UK in terms of education. The education system here for autistic children is good, but could do better. And actually, it's a bit of a postcode lottery as well. It depends which local authority that you live in. If you're lucky enough to live in where Anna's school is, then you kind of hit the jackpot. But a lot of other children do struggle. There is a school here in Wales called Ysgol and actually I'll give them a shout out, because they've got a new series starting on BBC Wales, so it'll be on iPlayer on Monday. Yeah, it's called Ysgol and I actually went to that school, and they've got the kind of myriad of conditions that they cater for in that school, from visually impaired to autism, and all kinds of things, and it's just such a beautiful, wonderful place and a beacon, really. And it reminded me a lot of your schools, Anna. But I'll let Anna kind of talk about education.
I think what we can do, if you don't mind, is that we could have a separate conversation for this, because this is quite a long conversation. So if you want to give the details to Tammie, or if you want to send them to the charity website, maybe we can either have a call or a Zoom chat, and then we can do it that way, if that's all right with you.
That's okay.
Can I ask very quickly though, Judith, what is it like in the Netherlands?
There are special schools in the Netherlands. Children are clustered. Autism is cluster 4, I think. It's behavioral and learning problems. They attend special schools, small classes, up to 10 pupils.
Okay. That sounds a bit similar to the UK, actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Between 8 and 10 usually, depending on how the children are, if you like. So if they need more one-to-one support, then the classroom sizes are usually sort of 4 or 5. Children that are a little bit more able, then the classroom sizes could be 8 to 10. That's in a special school. So,
well, Emily is actually a teacher. So Emily, do you want to just say hello? Hi, Emily.
Hi.
Hi, Emily.
Hi. Yes, I'm a teacher in a primary school, and at the moment I've got 2 children who have autism. One is more non-verbal, so I just wondered if there was anything, any way to support him. Yeah. Because obviously we're a class of 30 children, so trying to delegate your time can be a bit more of a challenge.
I was just going to say to you, that must be quite a challenge for you. So how many people have you got in the class supporting you? Because I have a friend, and she's a teacher, and she has 30 in the class, and she said you've got children with dyslexia, children with dyscalculia, children with ADHD, children with ADD, and she said sometimes it can be really overwhelming for her, because obviously she hasn't got enough support within the classroom. So I think it also depends on the school. And what's your SENCO like at the school without?
Really good. Amazing.
Oh, that's good. Because I think that's key within mainstream. If you've got a really good SENCO, that is like half the battle. But yes, definitely. Again, if you want to chat to me separately,
that'd be good.
I'm quite happy to do that, because obviously it's a big topic. It's not something that you can talk about within a few minutes. So yeah,
okay, lovely.
Happy to do that.
Thank you.
That's all right. Thank you, and thank you.
I just want to say quickly as well, you've been a massive support of my career, and it's really amazing to see you grow into this sort of amazing teacher. And actually, from knowing you, from meeting you several times before, I can see what a wonderful teacher that you would be. So I'm just proud of you. So well done.
Oh,
thank you.
That's lovely.
Oh, it's so lovely to hear. No, that's it. But it's just so lovely to hear and see a teacher and educational people come to talks like this, because it's so important. And then it's like, I'm so proud every time we do the expo, we do an event at Brunel University every year. We find that more and more teachers and SENCOs and support staff are coming to learn more stuff and actually talk to parents and be amongst parents, because you're sort of, when you're at school, you're sort of stuck in this bubble, and you don't hear what life is like for us as parents, and it's a real struggle. But the people that come and experience the autism reality bus that we have there every year and see what it feels like to have sensory processing difficulties, it just makes them better teachers, better support staff, and it's fantastic. So thank you for Emily, for coming along, and Madge, and your teaching, and any other teachers. I think it's so important, and it's makes me feel good to know that you guys are out there looking after our kids. So thank you.
Thank you. And it's so good as well that we have people that volunteer for us at the expo. Like, for example, we've had a speech and language therapist, we've had an OT that actually sit and give clinics, so parents can get free advice, so they can spend some time. They might want to chat to them about a particular behaviour or whatever it is. So they volunteer their time for the whole day, just meeting parent after parent after parent. So that's something else that we're really lucky as a charity to have.
I've got Ian. Ian, do you want to say hello? Do you want to unmute yourself? Because you've asked a question. He's asked, I don't know if he's not unmuted. Oh, he's got no mic. So he's asking, Richard, can you mention a trip?
Yes. So A-Trip is a friend of mine called Paul, who's down in Devon. He loves traveling, and he couldn't find anything. He's got an autistic son, Archie, and he was really struggling to find things that were suitable for him and his family. So he came up with atrip.world, which is basically like a resource where we all share our little pearls of wisdom of our local area, and we review and recommend those places, and then they all go onto atrip.world, and it's free to list, it's free to use, it's free for businesses. It's just kind of like, if you list something that works for you and your children, or you're an autistic adult and you love to go somewhere, then go on there and share it on atrip.world, because like I said, it's free and it's a great resource. And then hopefully then, if we all share our little pearls of wisdom, it becomes this kind of wealth of information for us all.
I'd be quite happy to put that on our charity website, on our resources page.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
So is it www.atrip.world?
atrip.world, that's right.
Amazing.
Okay, we'll definitely put that up there.
It's in its infancy, but like if you could, because the more people jump on it, the more information we'll have.
Yeah, because we do have a resources page, and I'm always asking people, is there anything that you feel that we should have on there? So we're quite happy to share. The thing for me is with autism, it's about networking and sharing information. And I know some people are quite precious. They don't like to share because it's theirs. But for me, it's about sharing. It's about networking, because the way I look at it, there's enough autism to go around for everyone.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's definitely about sharing. Definitely.
Okay, well, thanks,
Anna.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard. And please,
you're very welcome.
Give all the best to Tammie and to Jaco and to Acen. And I'm hoping that we'll see you next year at Autumn's Got Talent for our 10th year birthday.
Yay!
I can't believe it's 10 years. You. 10
I can't believe
years.
it's 10 years.
Well, I've been with you since the first one, and I still can't believe.
Would you want a medal?
Yes, please. I deserve a medal.
You all deserve medals.
And thank you to everyone that has been joining us. Keep checking on our charity website, and as soon as we have more workshops, please join us. You know, it's for free. It's about sharing, and it's about, you know, doing what we're doing. So it's, you know, it's tough out there at the minute, but everyone stay strong, stay safe, and keep going. Don't give in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Richard. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.